The symbolism of sheep and wool. The everyday symbolism of sheep is based on the fact that a sheep tends to follow other sheep without questioning where it is being led. Head down, oblivious. If we ignore the negative connotations of this, however, the more positive side is that it represents someone who has faith. And many studies have shown that believing in the spiritual world does make a huge difference in whether one receives spiritual input. Faith can genuinely produce miracles. But the mystic meaning of the sheep is far more subtle and profoundly important. Ba. In ancient Egyptian culture, the Ba was the higher spirit, often shown in pictures as a bird, because during out-of-body experiences it was the higher spirit that left the body to roam about the spirit world. It was the objective of all Egyptians on the spiritual path to merge the Ka, personality, mortal soul, with the Ba, immortal soul, producing as a result the concept of Ach, a living God. Abd al-Karim al-Jili, Tawhid, transcendence and immanence. The Ba is a dark letter. In addition, in the entire Basmala, there are no dark letters besides it. That ultimate being made of the letter Ba, the beginning of the Quran in every surah, because the first veil between you and this divine being is darkness. For this reason, the Ba is a cloak over the dot, the void, because it is over it like the cloak is over the garments. The Ba is darkness to the light of the dot, veiled as it is by the presence which is the visible world, but originated from the beautiful world of the dot. In fact, a rational consideration of the appearance of the dot behind the Ba points to the fact that the realm of what is truly real is hidden behind what is visible. Since the dot is attached to the Ba is used in speech for joining. Remove your shoes. That is your character and your being, for indeed you are at the Blessed Valley, and there is no place for you in the Blessed Valley of the Dot unless you rid your being and your character of doubt and defilement. Look now at this Ba, how my sharpness has increased the condition of its great beauty. Wool. Wool is spiritual energy. This symbolism derives from the spindle and the spinning of wool that we saw in the video of the order of creation. Symbolically, a sheep is thus a person with spiritual energy pouring forth in great abundance. Rusbihan Bakli, The Unveiling of Secrets, the Diary of a Sufi Master, translated by Carl Ernst. The Spinning of the Shepherd. I saw the truth in the dress of a shepherd with a spindle in his hand, spinning the throne, wearing clothes of rough white wool. Suf. But I saw the throne being wound around the spindle like fleece. I was astonished. and drowned in the ocean of magnificence. Then he hid from me. So a Sufi is a mystic with a lot of wool, spiritual energy, and a black sheep is actually a person who is at the level of darkness, beyond the first veil, with 7 more veils to go. Baa black sheep. Baa black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. 1 for the master, 1 for the dame, and 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. Sheep and wolves. Sufis, and indeed most mystics, were very badly treated by the established religions. See our Introduction to Sacred Symbolism. And since in Middle Eastern countries the wolf was the main predator of sheep, a wolf was symbolically a truly dangerous cleric, indeed deadly cleric. Matthew 10:16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents, and harmless as doves. In other mystic movements and many shamanic cultures, however, the wolf was greatly revered for its beauty and intelligence. See our video on wolf symbolism. The shepherd and his crook. And it's from the idea of sheep, aspiring mystics on the spiritual path, being vulnerable to attack, especially by sheep in wolf's clothing, that we get the symbolism of the shepherd. The story of Little Boy Blue. Little Boy Blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn. Where's the boy that minds the sheep? He's under the haystack, fast asleep. The inherent danger of sheep and cows being where they were in this nursery rhyme is best explained by this quote. The idea of a sheep eating in a meadow or a cow eating in the grain field, corn mean grain in this context, would have been horrifying to the people of the time. Since heavy feeding on lush grass can make sheep sick, grass tetany for example, and similarly corn is not good for a ruminant. And so the shepherd from his higher vantage point is there to warn sheep of danger. Aries and horns. As one would expect, since the sheep is a major symbol, it is also a constellation. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries' symbol represents the spiral horns of a ram. And we have a video on the importance of horns as a symbol. In Alice Through the Looking Glass, the sheep character was symbolically representing Aries as Alice went round the signs of the zodiac on her spiritual path to become a queen. Golden Fleece. The Greeks associated Aries with the ram, and in the story of the escape of Phrixus and Helle, Phrixus rather cruelly sacrifices the ram who had saved him and hung its fleece in the grove of Aries. There the fleece was turned to gold and became the object of the Argonaut's quest. We see this archetype of the sacrifice of very key mystics over and over again in myth. A very gifted prophet or seer, a swan, is killed after having saved often rather undeserving members of humanity. And by dying, the fleece, the wisdom, inspiration and healing produced by the ram becomes sought after by all on the spiritual path, particularly heroes.